So I believe you clicked on this video because you believe your drum solos suck, or you can't do a drum solo at all, or you can already solo but you're just here to get a few more tips. Now I'll go right into it. The reason you can't do a drum solo like the drummers you look up to is because of two primary reasons. The first one is because you don't actually know what a drum solo is. You don't know what it entails, and I'll explain this shortly. And the second reason is you don't know as much as they do, be it grooves, chops, rudiments, and the experience they've gathered from playing for so many years. But today I'll be helping you guys out, and I'll be showing you secrets that most drummers won't tell you about drum solos. So first of all, what is a drum solo? A drum solo simply means a moment of expression for the drummer. Now, a drum solo might be set or might be improvised. What do I mean by this? It might be set. Some people do a drum solo that is specific. It has to be this particular thing. Or it might just be improvised. Anything that comes to your mind, you play it. So as the word expression in the definition of drum solo implies, it means the drummer at that moment is expressing what he feels like. Do you understand what I mean? So it's not just a time for you to just play everything that you can play, but express yourself. Drum solos are not just all about chops. As I told you earlier on, I was going to explain something to you guys because you don't actually know what a drum solo is. If you know what a drum solo means, you know that it's not just a time to play the chops. Chops can wow the crowd. Do you understand? It can wow the crowd, but if you play chops for longer than a minute, just keep playing all the crazy chops, they'll begin to get bored. So it's always a journey of going up, going down. It's more like you're telling a story. I'm going to play a video shortly now. I'm going to watch a video of a drummer I look up to so much on the aspect of drum solos, and you're going to see what he does, how he applies this thing I'm talking about, where he, goes crazy, but it comes down and then goes up. It's more like you're telling a story. So now we're going to be watching this video. Watch it together with me. So I'm playing it right now. See what we just did there? You see how it just went from monster mode and brought it down. Do you understand? I'll liken this to something. If you watch movies, I know you might love action movies, I do, but can you imagine watching an action movie that from the beginning to the end is all tension, all guns blazing and everything? You know it's going to be boring. At some point, you're going to get tired of it. Yes, there has to be some moments where the action reduces and the tension builds again, the action reduces, just like that. Just it keeps happening over and over, and that's how a drum solo is supposed to be. It's not supposed to just be you come in with all your chops at once. But now the big question here is, what do you know? Because when it comes to expression, you can only express something you know. You can't express what you don't know. So when it comes to drum solos, when you want to express, what do you know that you can express? How many tasty grooves can you play? How many rudiments do you know how to infuse properly into the music? Do you know how to play around the kit with odd numbers? Do you understand how to do off-time entry? And how flexible are you around the drum kit? So shortly I'll be sharing with you guys some tips you can apply to your drum solos to make your drum solos a lot better. So if you watch videos a lot, you'd have seen that someone like Eric Moore, he does this particular stuff a lot. And to execute something like this, you need a particular level of flexibility to do this. So I was talking about flexibility earlier on. How flexible are you around the kit? If you're doing a drum solo, you're doing anything, how fast can you move around the drum kit? Because things like this wow people a lot. Flexibility can also help you do crossovers. Because I've seen crossovers where you have things like... So these are the things that can wow the audience when you're doing a drum solo. Another thing you can see some drummers doing when they start up their drum solos is they start off with a buzz roll on the snare drums, with their hi-hats just doing something like this. So another little thing you can do with your drum solos that's just very nice is, I've seen lots of pro drummers do this. You just make sure your snare keeps coming on the 2 and the 4, no matter what you're doing. So I'm going to use a swunk funk group to describe this. So we have a group that sounds like this. I'm going to play it around the toms. So we have 1, 2, 3. The snare is going to be sounding on just 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3. So what I'm doing, everything I'm doing, you can still hear my snare. So it still feels like I'm still grooving. So one more thing you can do with your solos is switching styles. Let's say we're playing the same song funk groove. So we have so you see what I just did there? It changes the vibe, but in a beautiful way. You go from this genre you were playing to another one, and it just throws people off, and then you come back on. These are things you can do in your drum solo. You must not just stay on the groove, on the same style you're playing, and die there. So one more thing I'm going to be showing you guys today, with all the things we've done, now if you know about rudiments, if you have certain rudiments you can play very well, you don't need so many rudiments to be able to execute the drum solo. When you have all these things I've said earlier on, you do them for a long time, then when you throw in those crazy fast movements with your rudiments, it looks really, really nice. You get? So I'm going to just play around my rudiments. I'm going to be using basically the 6-stroke roll and the paradiddle-diddle. So I'm going to try to merge everything I've said together here now. So what I did there, at some point, I took the 6-stroke roll stuff and just played some fast movements. I still went back, kept my snare on 2 and 4, put in the buzz roll. I was just trying to apply every single thing. You get? But out of all the things I stated earlier on, some things I did not cover, things like odd time entries and some other things. I'll make sure on the comment section, just go to the comment section of this video, you see where I've left a comment, a pinned comment with links to every video that can help you improve your solo. Because some of these things are full courses, and it's not something I can just explain to you in this short video. So make sure you go check out that comment. I love to see you guys grow. That's why I make all these videos. So see you guys in the next video.